American League. And here's Denard Span to lead it off. First pitch of this game is a strike call, a fastball. So we're underway right on time. Span has done a good job out of the leadoff spot for Minnesota. His on-base percentage is .403 as he chops it back at first. Knocked down by Pena. Flipped to first in time as Shields got over there and took the toss just in time.
Well, you said it, Dwayne. That was the key. Shields was busting his tail as soon as that ball was hit to the right side. Take a look at the movement off the mound right there. James Shields, as Pena knocks it down, and just by a hair gets the bag in front of Denard Span. Nice play to knock it down. It kind of handcuffed Carlos a little bit, but he stayed with it and does a nice backhand flip to Shields just in time ahead of Denard.
Now here's Joe Mauer. Span out on a very close play at first. There's a first pitch strike to Mauer.
Look at those numbers. 407. 11 home runs. That's the real key, is that he's hitting for power now.
Well, he had 9 home runs all of last year. His highest home run total in any one season was 13. That was in 2006. It came in 521 at bats. He already has 11 home runs this year after getting a late start. 1-1 the count. Ground ball, that's going to go through the right side, and he continues his hot hitting with a base hit his first time up tonight.
Well, even the ground ball hits he squares up on. He rolled over a little bit, but it had enough top spin to get through the infield. Of course, you can't put a shift on with Mauer because he hits the ball all over the field.
And here's Justin Morneau. He's third in the league in home runs. He's third in the league in runs batted in the top 10 in overall hitting. Pitch is upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. The other thing that's interesting, when these two teams get together, they really hope to reflect each other. And that the Rays have held the Minnesota Twins up as a team and an organization they'd like to emulate. There's a base hit, hard hit through the right side. Picked up by Gross out there. Mauer will stop at second on the base hit by Justin Morneau. So 2 men on with 1 out.
No, you're right, because the Twins were a team that at one point after the 2001 World Series, Bud Selig, the commissioner of baseball, was talking about contracting the Twins, and ever since then all they've done is perennially be a playoff contender and won several divisions.
You know, they had people in their organization, even when they were facing possible contraction, stayed with that organization out of loyalty.
You bet.
There's a strike to Jason Kubel. That says a lot right there. And their rate of turnover is very low, top to bottom, at the major league level, at the minor league level. They keep the same instructors and coaches.
Yep.
And so, as Joe Madden talks about playing the game the Rays way, the Twins have instituted that because they've kept the same people to teach young players coming through their system how to play the game the Twins way.
Well, even the turnover of their manager, Tom Kelly, and Gardenhire was under Tom Kelly as a coach. There's a great changeup, the equalizer that we talked about in the pregame. He has to be able to throw against the left-handed hitters. And that was a beauty right there.
Kubel, who's been hot, is out on strikes. Here's another look.
That thing just falls off the table right there. You don't really have to have the location as far as in and out, as long as it moves, and it's the arm speed. You know, you go from 92 with a 4-seam fastball to an 80-mile-an-hour changeup.
Michael Kadire. That's a nice pitch on the outer part of the plate.
But I think you're right, Dwayne, about that. Minnesota's one of those teams I think a lot of organizations look to because they're all about player development and scouting.
Down and in, it's 1-1.
And even Joe Mauer, who was a local kid from the Minneapolis-St. Paul area, you know, they didn't draft Mark Pryor, who went to the Cubs that year, because they didn't think they could sign him, but they wanted to get Joe Mauer as a #2 pick, and all he's done is win 2 batting championships. And he's an excellent defensive catcher.
Yeah. They do a pretty good job of evaluating makeup as well as talent. Too low. 2-2 now to Kadire.
They've also made some pretty good trades. You know, when they made that trade for Joe Nathan, Liriano was a must. One of the scouts down in Arizona saw Liriano, said Francisco Liriano has to be in this trade.
Ground ball back to the man. Shields with a toss to Pena. Minnesota leaves 2. No runs, a couple hits, and 2 left. Bottom of the first coming. Rays coming in to hit. Facing a right-hander tonight. Here's the lineup put together by Joe Madden. B.J. Upton in the leadoff position, followed by Carl Crawford and Evan Longoria. Carlos Pena, the cleanup man, and Willie Ibar, the DH, with some pretty good numbers for the month of May. At second base, Ben Zobrist, Gabe Gross, Deanna Navarro, and Reed Brignac will round out the Rays lineup.
Right-hander Scott Baker on the mound, coming off his best start against Milwaukee on the 24th of May, went 8 1/3 innings. Got the win with 6 strikeouts. He's a strike thrower. Kind of discount that 6.32 ERA. Got off to a tough start when he came back off of shoulder stiffness April the 15th, but pitched much better in his last outing.
First pitch to Upton is too high. Starts him with a fastball. Well, the Rays have been averaging for the year 5.64 runs per game, and that's tops in the American League. Pitch is high, 2-0. But they've lost 5 in a row, and during that 5-game losing streak, they have averaged allowing 7 runs a game.
Yeah, that's where people have to step up. But I've always felt with injuries, starting with Pat Burrell and now Jason Bartlett, and of course Aki.
That's a strike, 2-1.
That's somebody else's opportunity to say, you know what, I can play up here. Let me take that job. Not that you're going to take anybody's job permanently like Jason Bartlett when he's eligible to come off the DL, but you want to show that you belong up here. Take your opportunity when you get it, because a lot of us in baseball don't get that opportunity.
Yeah.
I can speak for myself.
Yeah. 3-1 to count on B.J. Upton.
What I'm saying is I just don't think you feel sorry for yourself and say, oh, woe is me. We lost Aki. Aki's a tremendous player, very impressive player.
3-1, and Upton pops it up. Shallow center. Tolbert out from second base makes the catch. And B.J. is retired.
Defensively for the Twins, out in left field, Bernard Span. Carlos Gomez, the speedster, in center. Michael Kadire in right. Joe Creedy on the left side of the infield with Brendan Harris at short. Matt Tolbert at second. Justin Morneau at first base, and Joe Mauer behind the plate doing the game calling for Scott Baker.
Carl Crawford starts the night at 317. Pitch is outside. 1-0. The Rays do not have a lot of at-bats accumulated against Baker. They did face him back at the end of April. It was in Minnesota. 1-1 to count to Carl. He pitched 6 innings against the Rays and left the game trailing 4-1. The Rays won that game. He gave up those 4 runs on 6 hits. 1-2 now.
Well, Scott pounds the zone. Historically, throws strikes at about 68% clip, which is way above major league average. If you're around 63%, that's doing the job, but he's way above that. So, on one hand, I mean, the Rays like to work the count, but on the other hand, you're going to get some pitches over the heart of the zone early in the count that you can swing at.
Crawford fouls another one out of play. And having said that, the Rays continue to see a lot of pitches, and that's been a marked improvement for this club over the last year and a half.
Well, even that foul ball by Crawford right there, that was a tough pitch down at 92, and he fouls it off, hoping for maybe a better pitch to hit.
Fouls it again. And boy, that's what good hitters do. They just foul good pitches away one after another, knowing that sooner or later they're going to get a pitch they can hit.
Well, the theme that we've talked about all season is don't give your at-bats away. Don't give up any easy outs. Grind it out. And he is.
Yes, he is once again. He got down 1-2. He's fouled 3 pitches off.
Baker will get it up there to 93, 94. That one you just saw was 93. So he's anywhere so far from 88 to 93 miles an hour with the fastball.
And again, a foul ball. You know, Crawford really prefers the number 2 spot. He'll tell you that. But with the at-bats he's been having, he's like a leadoff guy in the number 2 spot.
He really is. I mean, he's making Scott Baker throw everything he's got at him. That was an off-speed pitch he just fouled off there. We've seen 4-seamers, 2-seamers, curveballs, and changeups.
And again, a foul ball out of play. I mean, you won't see a better leadoff performance than what Crawford's giving you right now.
And then the advantage, too, is when you got Longoria hitting behind you with 51 RBIs, it's a guy that you don't want to walk. So you are going to pound the zone on Carl Crawford and make him hit his way on.
There's ball 2. So with a 2-2 count, 9 pitches already in this at bat. Fly ball into right. Kadyr's right there for it, makes the catch. So an extended at bat before Crawford lifts the fly ball to medium depth in right field.
Yeah, he should not feel bad about that at bat. That breaking ball get in on him a little bit, but that's a good at bat. Working the count right there, get that pitch count up. See all the pitches, and Carl knows it. He just missed a good pitch to hit.
Evan Longoria with those 51 runs batted in. And he shoots one through the hole, base hit into left. Longoria didn't waste any time on a first pitch fastball, drilling it into left.
That's smart hitting because Evan knows that Scott's a strike thrower. So, you know, I'm not going to take that first. If I get a good fastball to hit, I'm going to let it fly, and he does. Pitch is down, too. See Mauer setting up in. It was down and in. Had some 2-seam action with some sink, and he went down and got it right at the knees. Shoots it into left field. Chris single right there.
Now it's Carlos Pena. And the Twins shift the infield around, but not a bona fide shift. They still have Brendan Harris, the shortstop, on the third base side of the bag at second, but shaded way toward the middle. And Pena takes the pitch for a strike. The outfield pretty much straight away.
And deep. And rightfully so. With Carlos Pena.
A 1 strike count to Pena. Big cut and a miss. 0-2.
Yeah, got a little long on that one. That was a very hittable pitch. 89 miles an hour. Carl's looking for a quick 2-spot right there. Why not?
Baker making his 3rd career start against the Rays. He has 1 other relief appearance against him, coming in 1-1 with a .485 earned run average against the Rays. Pena lifts it to the left side. I mean, a high pop fly. Span had to come all the way to the line to get it, and then had to back up a few steps. Rays are out of there. They leave a man. We go to the 2nd, no score. No score as we go to the 2nd inning. A reminder, fans, the $250,000 Mustang money tickets are on sale right now. Register your non-winning tickets now through June 11th for a second chance to win. Second chance prizes include the 2010 Ford Mustang VH convertible. Big cut and the miss by Joe Creedy. The 2nd inning is underway. Also including an ultimate Florida baseball weekend getaway and $100 gas cards. Visit flaflorida.com for details. Nothing in 2. Creedy's hitting .240 and 9 home runs. He's had that home run bat going lately.
Yeah, I thought that was a good pickup by the Twins too. They were looking for a third baseman all winter.
He's out on 3 pitches the first time up.
A good sequence right there. Fastball, slider, curveball. All for strikes. 76 with the curve right here. Bottom falls out. Forget about it. But Creedy does have 9 home runs. Twins looked at Casey Blake early. The Dodgers got him, and they were able to sign a Joe Creedy, hoping he'd be healthy, and so far, so good.
Now the former Ray, Brendan Harris, who's playing shortstop tonight for Minnesota. And the pitch is a strike. Shields starting him with a fastball. Harris was a favorite when he was with the Rays. He could play all over the place. He's always had a good bat. This one is down 2-1. He knows how to play the game.
Valuable guys like these. Good situational players.
Strokes it toward right center field. That's going to be in there. A couple of hops to the wall. Harris on his way to second, and he'll stop there with a double. The third hit for Minnesota.
Nice and short with the swing. Navarro sets up away. The ball had a little cut going away, and Harris just goes right with it. Shoots in the gap nicely in right center field.
So Harris is in scoring position for Matt Tolbert, the switch hitting infielder. He's getting some playing time at second base with Alexi Casilla in the minor leagues. And a bunt by Tolbert back to the mound. Shields goes to first for the out. Harris takes third. So Tolbert sacrifices Harris over to third base.
Well, that should be an at bat to me. That should be an 0 for 1. I mean, he's trying to bunt for a hit right here. That's not a sacrifice. He squared up the bunt for a hit. You don't sacrifice with one out. I mean, I'm sure Ron Gardenhire is going to say, hey, you drive the run in there with a 9-hitter on deck. Thought he'd sneak one in there. Ronnie can't be happy with that.
Now Carlos Gomez takes a strike.
That's a free out. That's a free out right there. Yeah, there he's explaining the situation. I mean, that's not what your job is against James Shields after a double by Brendan Harris with one out.
Breaking ball, and it's lifted into center. Upton is there for it. Makes the catch to retire the side. Harris left at third. Bottom of the second coming. No score.
Along with his interpreter, Bori Uchibori. And here's what he said about next season.
It hurts me a lot, not only physically but mentally, that I cannot play on a field and I cannot contribute to the team win. But for next year, I promise that I'll be back for the fans, and hopefully everything works out on my side, on my way, and I'd like to get back on the field as soon as possible.
That was our Geico quote of the game. Aki's such a class act, meeting with the media. You can tell how disappointed he was as Willie Ibar sends one to center field for the first out here in the bottom half of the second inning. And Dwayne, you know, last year being in that pep rally at Stroud Park, just how popular Aki's become in his short time here with the Rays. He loves Tampa Bay. The Rays fans love him, and hopefully we'll see him again next year healthy.
Yeah, you're right about that, and you see it in his face, the sincerity. He loves playing here, and as much as he hates being out individually, he understands the impact it has on the team. He has the collective concept as well as the individual concept. And it's a big loss for the Rays, and we wish him a speedy and miraculous recovery.
Absolutely.
We want to see him back at second base.
Boy, is he a good player, too. I love him at second, too, the way he turns a double play. As quick as anybody in the game. Great range, good hitter. Hits lefties. That's a huge, huge loss for the Rays. And, on the flip side, like I said earlier, this is where somebody's got to take that opportunity. If it's Ben Zobrist now tonight at second base, getting a chance to play every day, then go to it, man.
Swing and a miss by Ben, and it's a 2-1 count. This is an interesting double play combination right now. And I know Joe
Madden like it.
Yeah, I really do. I like this in the absence of Bartlett and Aki, of course. And you really cannot compare. It's not fair to compare a rookie. Reed Brignac, let him play shortstop, and even Ben Zobrist. So I think we have to throw that out the window. But if you're going to put a double play combination out there right now for most of the time, I really like this one. I like Brignac at short and Zobrist at second a lot. And you talked about opportunity. What a great opportunity it is for Reed Brignac.
I think so. Yeah, he's a shortstop as it is, and I think,
Zobrist pops it up. Mauer gives it a look, but that's going to be out of play.
I think one thing, too, when you lose somebody as key as Aki for the year and Jason Bartlett for a couple of weeks, and hopefully that's all, is you don't want to lose too much defensively for your pitching staff, which has had hot and cold times anyway. You don't want to put too many weak guys defensively to put offenses. I think the Rays and the way Joe Madden runs it, you're going to score runs. I think they can manufacture runs. With the 9 guys playing tonight, this lineup will score runs, but you don't want to sacrifice any defense. At least you want to minimize that. That's my feeling.
And we saw a shot of Reed Brignac there. He played shortstop almost all the time at AAA. I think he made 4 or 5 starts at Durham, and he's still working out at second base, which is a great idea. Because when Bartlett comes back, now you're going to decide who's going to play second.
Bet.
Well, it's possible. We don't know for sure. It's possible he could still get some time at second base.
Absolutely. That's right.
2-2 now to Ben Zobrist. He lifts it to the left side. The shortstop Harris out there for it. That's out number 2. And right now with Pat Burrell out, I just think this lineup makes a lot of sense to have Zobrist at second, Brignac at short, and Willie Ibar, who swings a very good bat, as the DH.
Yeah, from my vantage point, this is the best overall defensive lineup, and I still think it's plenty of offense. Ibar's done a good job at the DH spot as it is with Burrell out. Gotten his average up to 284. Zobrist we've seen hit the ball all season long, and I think Gabe Gross has been scoring it up much better the last 2.5-3 weeks. And Navarro's hitting the ball a little bit better, and Brignac's just getting his feet wet.
Gross puts down a bunt, third base side. He better take off. That ball's going to stay fair. Gabe hesitated for a moment. He thought it was going to go foul, and it must have hit a divot or something there because it kicked back fair, and at that point it was going to stay fair.
A couple of homestands ago, we talked about a bunt. I think it might have been BJ, but one of the guys bunted, and the ball went foul. And I know they talked to the ground crew because you never see a ball go foul once it starts on that dirt. And he said, I'll make sure that doesn't happen again. Now, this hits the chalk, but usually when it's down the line with the speed the Rays have, it's kind of manufactured to be tailored in toward the infield. So it's going to be a fair ball if you keep it on that dirt. So Gabe got himself a base hit. Now, that's a different situation. Give me a laugh. What's the difference between Gross bunting, who's got some power, versus the kid that bunted Tolbert with a runner at second?
First pitch to Navi is a strike.
Difference is there was 2 outs and nobody on, and Gross is just keeping him honest. And Navarro's been swinging the bat later, and he does have some gap power, and he can score you with the double. Tolbert, when he bunted, he had a runner at second and 1 out. The runner was already in scoring position. And you want to take 2 shots at driving the run in. So that was the difference there. Situational baseball.
Navi takes one away. And Navi has been squaring the ball better. He's hit some line drives and some hard-hit ground balls. You really love to see him hit those line drives.
Well, the other thing that base hit does with 2 outs, it gets Baker in a stretch position. It gets the pitch count up. He came off a start against Milwaukee. He went 8 1/3 innings through 107 pitches, I believe it was, and pounded the zone and, get that pitch count up. Nothing wrong with that with 2 outs once in a while.
Navarro fouls it the other way, and that slices out of play. It's 1-2.
106 pitches, 71 strikes. That was Scott Baker's last start. And there's the last 6 games, which is why you're able to do that, Gabe Gross, because Navarro's been swinging the bat better, 385. If Nambi's swinging like he did 3 weeks ago, Gabe Gross doesn't do that. He looks for a double or maybe even a long ball.
Scott Baker on the hill, out of the stretch. This is high. 2-2. Well, the Rays look at Baker when he misses up. That's a good sign for the opposition.
Well, and Baker worked with Rick Anderson in between starts prior to his last one to keep him taller on the mound, and what that means, so he gets a better angle going down toward home plate. There's a look at Rick. Not collapsing on the back leg too soon. When you do that, the ball stays up, and there he didn't have any finish at all.
So it's a full count now. Missed up on the last couple pitches to Navarro. Baker got off to an 0-4 start with a .915 earned run average, but has been better his last 4 starts. He's picked up a couple wins, both his wins in his last 4 starts.
You're looking at 35 pitches now for Scott Baker.
3-2. Gross will be off. There he goes. The pitch is a strike call. He threw him a breaking pitch, and Navarro is out of there on strikes. We're at the end of 2. No score. Fox Saturday Baseball returns this week at 4 on Fox.
I believe the man to my left here up in the booth is going to be doing that game tomorrow, Mr. Stats.
They were afraid to leave me with nothing to do.
They didn't want you back home alone, huh?
Or not on the streets. They're going to make me work.
You and Eric Karros tomorrow.
I'm looking forward to that. That'll be fun. Miss you.
I'll be checking you out. I'll be watching.
With a long legal pad, I'm sure.
Taking notes.
Yeah. Denard Span, a young man out of Tampa Catholic, takes the first pitch for a strike. You got to like what this young guy's done for the Twins. He Strokes it into center, and Upton is there to catch it. He's the first out in the top of the third.
You're right about Span, though. He was a highlight reel last year when he came up. Every time I saw him, he was making some kind of great defensive play in the outfield.
You know, I know these two teams aren't high-profile teams. I mean, you know, the Rays, American League champions last year, go to the World Series. That certainly increased the profile of the club. But in the grand scheme of things, I think nationally, I think that's why it's important that these two clubs get some exposure, as they will tomorrow, because you have players on both these teams that are well-schooled and excellent players in the tradition of baseball, the way people talk about the way the game should be played.
Well, you know, player development and scouting is always the key. I mean, some clubs got away from that. The high revenue clubs like the Yankees for a while, and still did. Like off season, they bought some players, and yeah, they're doing well. But when you don't have that kind of revenue, you got to develop your own, and both of these clubs have done that. And drafted, they've scouted well, drafted, been able to sign their key guys, and when they have to make a key trade here and there, they've been able to do that. The Twins, as mentioned, they got Liriano as a kind of a throw-in in the Joe Nathan deal for A.J. Przinsky.
There's another hit for Mauer. This one's going to go all the way to the wall. Extra bases. Mauer hustles his way into second. That's his 6th double of the year. He's 2 for 2 tonight already, starting this series red hot.
Comes in hitting .407. He's way above that now with 2 hits. Take a look. That's just mislocation. He's trying to go down and away, and he missed up and in. Look how short he is to the ball right there, getting inside it, and then great extension to get through it. And Joe was looking to hit that one out of the ballpark. And I truly believe, and I know that Don Mattingly has said this, and I played for a man named Ken Boyer who said you can learn to hit for power if you've got it in you, depending on the situation and the count.
Joseph Morneau takes the pitch high. 1 ball, no strikes. You know, another guy who did that was Ryan Sandberg.
Absolutely. I played against Ryan when he was a shortstop with the Phillies. He didn't have that kind of power that he developed with the Cubs.
Fly ball, center field toward left center, slicing. Now Crawford's going to be there to make the catch. Holding at second is Mauer, and Morneau is the second out of the inning.
Well, Don Mattingly didn't do that either in the minor leagues. He learned how to really coil and pick his spot and look for certain pitches. And I had a hitting coach in the minor leagues in Boston named Steve Braun, who was a great pinch hitter, good left-hand hitter with the St. Louis Cardinals. And he had home run hitting practice for guys that he thought that had home run power. Yep. And we actually practiced that on 2-0 and 3-1 counts in batting practice, when to go for it. I had never seen that before, not even in the Dodger organization when I was there.
Jason Kubel, he lines one up the right side, foul down beyond the bullpen. Well, he wasn't waiting around. Got out in front of that changeup a little bit, pulled it foul.
Well, this guy's always under the radar. I mean, look at his season, 329 right now with 5 home runs, 25 runs driven in, but he's under the radar type guy. There's always talk about Mauer and Morneau. There should be, and Kadire, but this guy's a dangerous left-handed bat.
He came in 7 of 12 lifetime against Shields. There's a strike.
He's cheating on that one. Look at that curveball off the table. Looking for something hard right there to turn on, cheating on it.
Kubel's had to overcome some knee surgery, and over the last couple of years continuing aches and pains from the knees. Jam there on a fastball as he fouls it back.
He changed the eyesight. I think it was an accident, but it worked nonetheless by going up and in. I think he was trying to throw a 2-seamer away. But that's an effective pitch. I think the Rays pitchers need to do more of that.
And he fouled it. Just a piece of it. And he's still alive with an 0-2 count.
Well, that's what 86 up and in 0-2 will do. It make it so much better when you're throwing a 79 changeup down and away. Just off the end of the bat, way out in front for Jason Kubel.
2-strike pitch again. He got him. He struck him out. 3 strikeouts in the game for Shields. Here's the strikeout pitch this time as they leave a man at second. Bottom of the third coming, no score. Woodstain's legendary performance on this date in 1990. Ricky Henderson stole his 893rd base to pass Ty Cobb as the American League's all-time stolen base leader. At that point, Ricky knew he was great. He was not yet the greatest. That came later when he surpassed Lou Brock.
Yep, that's right. I am the greatest.
Brignac fouls the first pitch back. Bottom of the third is underway. Brignac 3 of 15 with a couple of runs batted in. Scott Baker out there, and this one is stroked the other way down into the bullpen. Two strikes the count.
Twins pretty much shading Reed in the air opposite field, but Art Span is way over toward the line. Left field. Gomez is off the left center as well.
Fouls it back. 0-2. Brignac out of Louisiana. When he was recalled because of the roster situation, the idea was that he might only be with the club a few days, but that was before Hockey was injured and was lost to the club for the year. Still 2 strikes.
Yeah, that was a road trip. The first 2 games looked great. Looked like it's going to, you know, even game 3. Bartlett ties it with a home run. It's a 4-4 game. Okay, you come out of there 2 out of 3 in Florida. Then the big game Monday, and all of a sudden it went from like night and day. Great road trip turned into a pretty disastrous one.
Yeah, after dropping that first game in Cleveland, you know, it's tough to rebound from that. And you know, Madden's been great about that 30-minute rule.
Yeah.
You know, you wear a loss for 30 minutes, you celebrate a win for 30 minutes, and then go on and think about the game the next day. But a loss like that's difficult to get out of your system. And I really think there was a carryover effect. Up the right side, and that one is foul.
Well, I was thinking about that the other day, and somebody asked me about tough losses like that, and we've all been through them, whether it be a player or a manager or whatever. And I think more as a manager, because the manager feels it for the whole team. Players somehow are pretty resilient, you know. Except for maybe the guy that gave it up at the end, and I know Isringhausen had a tough time there as it turned out, so did Balfour, but Players for some reason know how to bounce back. A lot of managers can't bounce back, but Joe Madden finds a way to do it.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
You know, and the way you look at it is, and when you learn this after managing a lot of games, is, you know what, when you wake up the next morning, you go, you know what, the great thing is we don't have to wait a week like in football.
Yeah. And
2 days,
one loss.
Yeah, it's 1 loss. You come back, you win the next 3, you win the series. If you lose the first 2, you win the next 2, you split the series.
Lifted into left center field. Span and Gomez converging. It's Span from left field to make the catch. 1 away in the 3rd. Experience a Rays game from the all-inclusive Whitney Bank Club, offering extraordinary seating and luxurious lounge and dining areas. The Whitney Bank Club features upscale full menu buffets and inclusive drink options. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or go to RaysBaseball.com for more information. Here's B.J. Upton. Popped out his first time. Fouls it out of play the other way. That's a strike.
And BJ knows that's not the kind of swing you want in a first pitch. I mean, that was just that was almost like a protection swing, 0-2. Not what you want to do first pitch. That's why you see the disgusted look on his face. Mad at himself.
Takes the pitch away. It's 1-1.
And also now's the time that, the team needs BJ to step up, get over the hump.
Waves through the pitch. Slider, and the count is 1-2. Yeah, that would be a big lift right now.
Well, you got to take some pressure off the other guys. You got to take some pressure off the pitching staff. You got to take some pressure off the bullpen and the rest of the guys offensively. I mean, Zobrist has been huge this year. Bartlett's been huge. Now it's BJ's time. He's needed. Okay, but with Aki out and Bartlett out, and those are huge losses offensively and defensively.
You know, BJ, after that very slow start, had shown some signs of coming around, and then slipped again a little bit. He's really been in between where he wants to be. And he is out on strikes. So BJ is the second out in the 3rd.
And this is the in-between you're talking. I just really wasn't sure whether Baker's going to throw him a breaking ball or a fastball. And that's just kind of a sweeping, nothing to it swing. And he was just caught this whole at bat, guessing wrong. And with 2 strikes, you can't really guess. His speed, he's got to put the ball in play and cut those strikeouts from where they are now in half. And utilize his speed.
Carl Crawford, the pitch is outside. You know, as a former manager, you have a guy like that with great talent, and I think it's almost at the point where he's got to make it as simple as possible for him. And I just think if you reduce it down to just try to hit the ball up the middle and bump once in a while, that combination, does that make any sense to you?
Absolutely, and your power will come. Forget about the power. We know he can hit 25-30 home runs when he's right, but forget about that right now. Contact's the most important thing. You can't be striking out 40% of the time at the leadoff spot. It's just not going to get it done. He's got too much ability for that. So you got to shorten his swing and just use the field, and we've seen him do that periodically this year.
Yeah, I just think if he'd hit the ball up the middle, he'd have more fun than he know what to do.
Absolutely.
On the field. He's got such great ability, and he can run, bunt the ball, and hey, there's a shot deep to center field. Well hit. Gomez back, and it's gone. Home run for Carl Crawford. He hit the 2-1 pitch out to center field, and the Rays take a 1-0 lead. Carl Crawford's second home run of the year. Boy, he hit that ball well, and it took off to center field.
It jumped. You know, Carl was upset at himself in his last at-bat. He had a 9 or 10 pitch at-bat, but I thought it was a great at-bat, and he just missed a breaking ball. He didn't miss this one. That's a fastball. Baker's head goes down as soon as contact is made. It's funny to watch the pitcher that he knew by that sound and that bat speed that ball was gone right off the bat. And funny, I say, not for the pitcher, but it's interesting to watch the opposition. Pitchers know when a guy squares it up.
Yeah, Baker knew it was gone before Crawford did.
He did. That's what I'm saying. Baker knew. His head just dropped. As soon as the contact was made, the head dropped.
You know, Crawford hit that ball and took off. I mean, he was busting it out of the batter's box, which you'd love to see. But Baker knew it was gone.
Yeah, Baker knew it was gone, and Carl's looking for 3. And the ball carried out of the ballpark. Carl's not I mean, he's got gap power and occasional home run power. That's not his game, but it's like we're talking about with BJ. I mean, you start squaring the ball up and shortening your swing, the ball's going to jump off your bat. He's got such great ability. I'm talking about BJ. Carl, we know. And, you know, BJ talking right there. Hey, okay, I'll shorten it up. I can do that.
This is great.
Have some fun with it.
Now a shot to center field. Gomez will go back on this one. Falls down and hangs on to it, and he has hit his head, I think, on the turf. But apparently he's going to be okay. Gomez made quite a grab on that long drive by Longoria. Held on to it on the track. The Rays lead 1-0 on the Crawford home run. And it's time for our Aflac trivia question. Aflac, we've got you under our wing. Who has the highest career batting average against the Rays with a minimum of 75 at bats? Michael Kadire leads it off and takes the pitch inside from James Shields. So we have that trivia question in play. Pitch is popped up. Navarro out from back of the plate in fair territory makes the catch. That's the first out.
That's a nice job by Navarro. On a ball straight up like that, you got to give yourself some distance between you and the mound, and then wait until you flip the mask. And he did that. He did that perfectly. Those aren't easy plays. People think that's just a pop up. When you have your, you got to get your back to the infield because of the backspin. The ball will come back toward the infield. And Navi did it just right.
Here's Joe Creedy. Swing and a miss on the fastball. Creedy, 31 years old. Over from the White Sox. He had some more work done on his back in the offseason.
Kind of grabbed that left side after that swing, too.
Yes, he did. Well, there's a nice pitch. Catching the outside corner with a breaking ball.
He's got a good curve tonight to go with his fastball and his change. His curve has really been effective.
Ground ball foul. Creedy recently, of course, that back is always an issue, and they try to recognized that and rest him, but he was hit on the hand by a pitch. You see him twisting a little bit right there. I think that back might be bothering him again.
You know, on that first swing, he just kind of spit on that curveball.
There's a line drive into left. It's going to fall in front of Crawford.
He went down and got that one. He's a gamer, though. He's a tough guy. He's not. You can see him still winching. He's feeling it. But he went down and got this one right here. That's a nice piece of hitting right through it. Good use of the back leg to get down and through that breaking pitch.
So he's at first with one out, and Brendan Harris, who's at shortstop tonight, he doubled into right center his first time. Takes the fastball. That's a strike. And speaking of the curveball, Shields threw a good one to get Jason Kubel to end the third.
Sure did.
3 strikeouts tonight. Rays have a run, 3 hits. The Twins, no runs, 5 hits. Foul ball straight back, and that's going to be just below us. 0-2. I don't know if that made the writers' press box or not, but we want to make sure all the writers are okay.
Check their hands.
Yeah. Two strikes to count to Harris. Fouls this one up the right side. Harris will be 29 years old this year. 265 last year for the Twins, and played all over the infield, including first base once in a while. He was out on strikes this time. Harris, strikeout number 4 for Shields, the second out here in the fourth.
Well, when James gets ahead, this is a changeup right here, 79, and it had location to go with it. Forget about it. Off the outside corner. But when he pounds his own and is ahead 0-2 or 1-2, he's got so many weapons to get you out. And that time it was the changeup.
Matt Tolbert at second base tonight. And the fastball misses a little bit up. 1-0.
Excellent right there as far as command. 38 strikes of his 50. 76%.
There's a strike. Little cutter. One and one.
Game has a real rhythm to it when pitchers throw strikes, doesn't it?
It sure does.
Defense feels it. Everybody feels it. Umpires are better. They're going to make more calls for you.
Well, it'll drive your defenders crazy.
You bet.
If you take a lot of time between pitches.
You're playing 25 minutes on defense. That carries over to your at bat too.
2-1 outside. 3 balls and a strike.
That's just a changeup right there. They just ran too much. That's uncontrollable movement right there. You don't want to lose that though. That's great movement.
And the pitch wide. Fastball out there that time as Tolbert draws the walk.
We had to talk it up, didn't we?
Yes, yes, we did.
I guess we should have just been quiet.
So 2 men are on, 2 men are out. The number 9 hitter is Carlos Gomez. He made that catch on the ball hit by Longoria. You thought he might have come out of that with a headache. Did he go? I think he did.
Yeah, he
That's
did.
a strike. Jerry Meals down there.
And Carlos is always in swing mode. There he is. He couldn't hold up on that. That definitely broke the wrist there. That hit out in front of home plate.
tap foul. The count is 0-2.
He bounced his head on that catch he made on the warning track out there, and he hit him all off his helmet and clipped his forehead on that one. Let's see where this one went. 0-1 pitch right here. Yeah, get him around the bill of the hat.
Yeah, he's wondering what's going on right now, because his head hit the turf when he made that catch, and now this. The 0-2 up a little bit. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We saw how he could go get the ball on the ball he caught hit by Longoria. He lifts a high fly ball to center. Routine for Upton, who makes the catch, and that'll do it. No runs, a hit, 2 left. Bottom of the 4th coming, 1-0 Tampa Bay. Our Aflac trivia question. Answer Aflac. We've got you under our wing. Who has the highest career batting average against the Rays with a minimum 75 at bats? Aflac. Well, the answer to that is the guy behind the plate for Minnesota, Joe Mauer. He's 2 for 2 tonight, and so his career average against the Rays is now .413.
Up 6 points tonight with those 2 hits from .407. As far as what's his batting? He was .407 coming in, just overall batting.
And the first pitch to Carlos Pena is a strike. Pena, Ibar, and Zobrist. Scott Baker misses inside. It's 1-1.
Yeah, Mauer's up to .419 now just tonight against the league. That's incredible for a guy being out like that.
Yeah, and .413 against the Rays.
Man, and .413 and 13 against the Rays. Well,
1-2 to Carlos.
There's a reason he was a 2-time batting champion.
Yeah. Well, you respect the way he plays the game too.
No, he's a good guy. I mean, I know him a little bit. He's a good guy too. I mean, he's just a good hitter. I mean, he's not one of those guys you puts it in your face. He's just solid. He worked with his dad in his basement. He's got this hitting machine that he does in the wintertime. And I think they might have patented it and selling it now. But I've talked to him many times about that, where he learned how to hit, and it started with his family, his dad.
Full count to Carlos Pena. as he leads off the bottom half of the fourth. And there is strike three call. Pena parting word with Dale Scott. He thought the pitch was high. Called out on strikes on the pitch up. Every Sunday is a family fun day presented by the St. Petersburg Times. You can get an outfield ticket, Pepsi product, and a snack starting at just $18. Come out this Sunday. The Rays take on the Twins, and the first 10,000 youngsters 14 and under receive a Rays youth cap. Visit RaysBaseball.com to get your tickets. Willie Ibar takes a pitch wide.
You know, that 3-2 backdoor breaking ball is the same pitch that Navarro saw for strike three to end the second inning.
And Navarro thought the pitch was up.
Yeah. And maybe around the plate, too.
2-0. Dale Scott calling the balls and strikes. He's a veteran of 23 years in the major leagues. Hails from the great state of Oregon.
Yeah, it's just good execution, though, by Baker. I mean, it was close. You know, that's a good pitch to throw to a guy like Carlos. Want to throw him a cookie down the middle.
Yep. Ibar fouls a fastball. It's 2-1.
If you get the call, fine. If you don't, he walks him. Well, I guess so be it. Baker's a strike thrower anyway.
Three balls and a strike.
You know, the umpires have been taking a lot of hits here the last few days, especially in this with this Minnesota team yesterday with the Red Sox. Not this crew, but
a pop up on the 3-1. Greedy's making the call. 2 outs. Scott Baker's given up a run on 3 hits, and that strikeout pitch has been good for him.
Yeah,
you mentioned.
Yeah, a little cutter right there. That's a fastball down right there. Here's the one to Carlos Pena. Howard's setting up away, and Baker's able to drop that breaking ball in the outside corner. But, you know, the umpires yesterday in the Red Sox game, they threw out both starting catchers and both managers over some calls. There was a young umpire that was called up behind the plate. And his patience was very short. He threw out Gardy on he was backing up Mike Redmond, who it looked like he had a tag play that he really did get the runner, and it made it a 3-1 game instead of 2-1. And then Beckett was throwing to Varitek, and Beckett was concerned about the strike zone, and Varitek ended up turning around at the umpire's face, and he was gone, and then Terry Francona was gone. So much so that Terry Francona had a little, his blood pressure went up. The emergency people had to check him out. See what happens to managers?
Hey, it's a tough job. I mean, you know.
Relax.
Here's the thing. You got to be smart to be a manager, but there's also part of the reverse part of that. You know,
you got to be dumb too. What are you doing?
I mean, ground ball back to the mound. Baker has it, and a toss to first. 1, 2, 3. So at the end of 4, it's 1-0 Tampa Bay. The fifth, get in on the 09 Rays action. Exclusive on-field seating with your group of 50 or more available at the Checkers Bullpen Cafe. Dates are filling fast, so act now to make your private group reservations behind the Rays bullpen. Call 727-825-3406 or online at raysbaseball.com. They've got it all out there in the Checkers Bullpen Cafe.
It's looking good.
Top of the order here in the fifth inning. Here's Denard Span. The pitch is outside. 1 ball, no strikes. There's some talk that Span was a little dizzy and had a little problem the last few days when they were home. Hit the strike, and they think that there's a thyroid situation that can be medicated.
Oh boy!
But he was,
I hope so.
Yeah, because I'll tell you, he's a good-looking young talent.
He is. And it's, I hate to say a key out of the game, but it is a key out of the game. I'm going to say it because it's a 1-0 game, and you got Maurer on deck, followed by Morneau. Keep this guy off the bases with Maurer coming up.
And after going 2-1, Shields took that little stroll behind the mound, recognizing the point you just made. Foul ball, that moves Jerry White out of the coaching box at first. And it's a 2-2 count.
I mean, Maurer's just so locked in, as he always is, but he's exceptionally locked in. Number 1 against the Rays, but number 2 against the league right now. 419.
Yeah, you can't say, hey, he's got his 2 hits tonight, so no, that doesn't work. Little ground ball by the mound to second. Zobrist with a pickup and a throw to first, and that was a nice pitch on Span.
Now, take a look at Joe Mauer, what a short swing is. Let's take a look from the side. Here's a nice setup. This arm being flexed is key, the lead arm. Now when he strides, here's a stride. A short stride, front foot, up, picks it up, just sets it down. It's flexed right there. That's key. That has to be flexed to get inside the ball quickly. And look at that. Then the back arm is inside, and look at that concentration through the ball and the great extension. But the key for any hitter is that front arm, when you stride, has to be a little bit flexed. That's how you get short to the ball. If that arm does what I call barring out, if you see that arm straight as they go back, that creates a long swing. You lose that lever of your elbow, and you create a longer and slower swing. That's why he's so quick with the bat.
1-0 the count to Mauer. Takes a strike. Couple fastballs here to start him.
Your body is all about leverage. Starts with the lower half and goes up through the upper half. And it's just like a boxer's punch. You don't see a boxer bar out and his arms straight out. You see him in tight where the power is. Well, his arms are flexed.
It's the same way with pitching.
Absolutely. You don't become a windmill. You lose that lever and you lose arm speed and you lose velocity.
Ground ball by the mound to second. Zobrist gloves it and they get him. So Mauer is retired for the first time tonight. Zobrist to Pena, 2 up, 2 down here in the 5th inning. The hitter will be Justin Morneau.
A modern day version of the M&M boys.
Yes, it is.
We remember the Mantle and Maris days.
Yes, we do. There's a little tap, first base side, and Shields makes the pickup and the tag to retire the side. 1, 2, 3. Bottom of the 5th coming, 1-0 Tampa Bay.
Kazmir was throwing out in the bullpen under the guidance of Jim Hickey. And the pitching coach says they're just taking it very slowly right now, just working on one thing at a time. And today was the first step in what could be a long process. They don't want to rush anything with Kazmir. They want to rebuild the mechanics. And today he was out there early before the game getting his work in. Guys, back to you.
Well, it's good to see him down in the bullpen on a mound throwing, and that's probably the right approach. Just take your time and make sure you work slowly and correctly, and it's important to eventually get things ironed out for Scott Kazmir. Dave Gross leads off the bottom of the 5th. Takes a curveball inside. 1 ball, no strikes.
Well, confidence is part of it, but you have to have the right technique, both pitching and hitting. We just showed you Joe Mauer's technique. I mean, he's got it down, and he doesn't have to think about his mechanics. By Scott's admission, I mean, he's had to think about his mechanics, you know, as he's pitching, and that's really impossible to do, to get results out of that. So doing the right thing, getting some work on the side, trying to rebuild those first. And with that will come the confidence, because he'll start throwing strikes. And I guarantee the velocity will come back too.
3-0 the count.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get some points here for James Shields, throwing a great game so far, but
this is the way he's had to pitch, it seems, every time out this year.
Yep.
There's a strike. It's 3-1.
Now, right here, I think you look fastball and see if you can square one up and hit one off the wall or out of the ballpark. And if he throws that backdoor 3-1 slider, so be it. Let it go.
3-1. A little looper popped to the left side. Harris out there for it, and he makes the catch. That's the first out. There's a lovely lady here tonight, a big Rays fan, Frances Miller. She's 93 years young today.
Awesome.
We each had a chance to have a little bit of the birthday cake. She was in, I think she was here for over 30 games last year, and out the Tropicana Field on her birthday. She loves Frank Sinatra. The other night, apparently, there was a Frank Sinatra review on.
Oh, I love
and she
him too.
said, but wait,
I'm with her.
Are the Rays on? She goes, I'm going to watch a Rays game.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, she wants the Rays instead of Frank Sinatra. So bless her heart, she's one of our favorites, and happy birthday.
Frances Albert second. I love it. She looks great. She's intense. She wants some points here too.
Now he fouls it back, 0-2.
And you gave me some cake that she sent up. It was outstanding.
Yep.
Thank you. And happy birthday.
I know we both like Frank. I mean,
Yeah, that's my after game music when I was manager. Kind of, you know, before game, get the energy going. After the game, wind down.
That's right. High popper on the right side. That's Talbert out from second base under it. 2 gone. But we also have an eclectic taste, a wide variety of music.
Absolutely.
Including 3 Doors Down, and they'll be here tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, you bet.
Two outs with the bases empty, and here's the Rays' young shortstop, Reed Brignac. First pitch is high. 1-0. Well, we talked about all of the offense provided by these two teams lately, but tonight we have a 1-0 game going in the bottom of the 5th. Brignac fouls it away. 1-1.
Well, Baker's coming off a great start, his best of the year against the Brewers, who are playing very good ball in the National League Central. Pitched 8 in the 3rd inning. He didn't walk anybody, struck out 6. And Shields has just pitched pretty consistently all season long, just hasn't had a lot of run support. He's just got to be tougher than the opposition. If 1 run's all he gets tonight, he's got to put up zeros. It's the old Sandy Koufax theory. If they get me 1, I can't give up any. If we get 2, okay, I can give up 1. You got to just be up to the competition.
Grinyak with a count of 1-2. Baker's retired 6 in a row since giving up the home run to Crawford. Reed fouls it out of play.
Of course, that's easier to say, I guess, when you're Sandy Koufax, isn't it?
Yeah.
With his stuff that he had back in the day.
Yeah,
Wow.
we talked about that a week or two ago about his approach.
Oh,
Every game he sets out to throw a perfect game.
That's it, and it's true.
Not a perfect game, then a no-hitter. If it's not a no-hitter, it's a shutout. Just get the win. Grinyak waiting for another 1-2 pitch. It's going to even the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, Sandy's thing was not, he said a competitor is not the guy that loses a game 2-1 or 3-2. It's the guy that wins the game 2-1 and 3-2. He would, I mean, he really would discard that with the Dodger pitchers he was teaching. He said, don't tell me you know you're a great competitor when you lose a game 3-2 and you gave it up.
Fly ball the other way, and Span comes in. 3 up and 3 down go the Rays. We're at the end of 5. Tampa Bay 1, Minnesota 0. They're on sale now. Register your non-winning tickets now through June 11th for a second chance to win. Second chance prizes include that 2010 Ford Mustang V6 convertible, an Ultimate Florida Baseball Weekend getaway, or $100 gas cards. Visit flaflorida.com for details. With that pitch to Jason Kubel for a strike, the 6th inning is underway. Kubel, Kadire, and Creedy. Breaking ball. That looked pretty good, but not to Dale Scott.
Yeah, that was a nice backdoor curveball right there. This has just been a little bit wide.
Chopper right side. Zobrist with a pickup. Kubel is out number 1. The Twins have had base runners in 4 innings, the first 4. In fact, they managed to put men in scoring position in each one of those innings. And Shields has worked out of it. Here's Kadire. Pitch inside, 1-0. Michael Kadire bounced out pitcher first and popped out to the Rays catcher, Deanna Navarro. Pitch is down. Kadire takes a look at that pitch.
He saw that 91 fastball running in on him. He said, that's not something I can get up in the air. I'll end up hitting that thing to third base.
2-1, a high fly ball deep into left center field, and that's going to go. Home run for Michael Kadire. That's his 9th of the year, and the game is tied.
That's smart hitting by Michael Kadire, because I was just talking, the pitch before was 91. It was a fastball, but it wasn't up. It wasn't something he could get in the air to do just what he just did. The last pitch was. Take a look at this. That's a hanger. A little cutter away. Didn't cut at all. Stayed up and in above the belt, and he deposits in the left field for the home run.
Here's Creedy going after that first pitch, a fastball and a fly ball to center, handled by Upton. That's the 10th home run given up by Shields, and the game is tied 1-1.
But you know, when you get the count in your favor, that's what you're looking for. I mean, one of the few times James got behind, he had to come in with some strikes, and 2-0 made a nice pitch. 2-1 was just a mistake. It's not what he was trying to do. One got away from him. That's what happens to good big league hitters. They'll make you pay for it.
Now it's Brendan Harris. Harris pops it up. Navarro's after it near the screen, but it's out of play about 3 rows back. And Harris has another shot. Kadire, who hits the home run, he's now 4 out of 8 lifetime against Shields. It's down and in, and it's 1-1. You know, Kadire is another one of those guys who's not high profile, but he does a lot of things right.
No, that's one of the strengths. Curveball there again.
Strike of the knees. It's 1-2.
The Minnesota Twins really is their outfield. Span and Gomez, of course, center hasn't learned quite how to hit yet in the big leagues. Still chases a lot of pitches, but he's got a world of talent. And then Young, of course, sitting tonight, Delman Young, I raised all about him. And Kadire.
Down and away. Full count. Gomez in the Minnesota dugout. 3-2 to Harris, and a foul ball. Just a little bit of that fastball to stay alive.
He's got good movement when that ball's running down and in 90 miles an hour. That's a good pitch right there.
Delman Young. Foul ball. Delman left the Twins for a time, and we were sorry to hear the passing of his mother, and he went home to be with her in her final days, and then the young family dealt with the passing of his mother. 3-2. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Fastball came back to catch the outside edge. A run scores on the Kadire home run, and this game is tied in the middle of the 6th, 1-1. Run to account for the Rays run and for Alltel Wireless. Now there's a circle for everyone. Call 5, 10, or 20 free numbers on any network, but my circle exclusively from Alltel. It will be Upton, Crawford, and Longoria in the 6th inning against Scott Baker. Upton looking for his first hit of the night. Ground ball off the glove of Creedy and in behind him. A low liner that Creedy got his glove on, but it got away and rolled in behind him for a base hit.
Well, that's what contact will do. You never know. BJ squares it up and smokes it at Creedy, who's an excellent third baseman. He just couldn't pick this one. Playing even with the bag, looking bunt. That's a good swing right there. Got right through the ball. It was off the tip of Joe's glove. He tried to track it, but that thing had some speed as he's about 80 feet away from home plate there.
Well, this is what you love to see. Speed at first with nobody out. Crawford in the batter's box. And a base hit the other way. Out of the reach of the diving Harris. 2 men on with nobody out in the bottom of the 6th inning. So back-to-back singles, 2 men on for Evan Longoria, who is the Major League's leader in runs batted in. That's featured on our Firestone leaderboard. 51 runs batted in for Longoria. Jason Bay of the Red Sox second with 48. And Justin Morneau of the Twins third with 44 ahead of Carlos Pena. You know, they're going to change that and give
I don't agree with that.
An error there on the ball hit by Upton. I don't agree with that either.
I don't agree with it because Creedy was up looking for a bunt, and that ball had some top spin and it had some hook to it. And he's just, you know, he tried to track it into his glove and it went off the end of his glove. If he was back, I'd say, yeah, that's an error. But when you're up looking for a bunt and the ball smoked at you at third, that's a base hit for me.
Longoria takes the first pitch as it slides away out of the strike zone. 1-0. Yeah, they called it a hit, changed it to an error, and they don't reconsider those a lot, but it'd be nice if they did.
Well, you know, try to respect the scorer's decision, but I think you had it right the first time. You know, you have to play third base to understand how quick that ball gets on you when you're looking for a bunt with a fast runner. That's a base hit all the way.
Pitch inside to Longoria. 2-0. Sean Hinn now in the bullpen.
Longoria's had a couple of good at-bats already off of Scott Baker. He singled to left sharply in the first, and he lined out deep to center. Carlos Gomez made a circus catch out there to save at least a double.
2-0 the count. There's a shot deep into center. Gomez back to the track. Gone! Home run for Evan Longoria. On a 2-0 pitch, Longoria hits a 3-run home run. That will give the Rays a 4-1 lead. Number 13 for Longoria. RBIs 52, 53, and 54.
That's a huge pick-me-up right there to pick up all three. Baker trying to go away with the fastball. He left it right down the middle, and Evan Longoria didn't miss it. Dead center field.
The Rays take a 3-1 lead, a 3-run, 4-1 lead. And the first pitch to Carlos Pena's a ball. 3-run shot by Evan Longoria.
Well, that's what speed does too. Get you more fastballs.
Carlos skies this one. I'm not sure that'll ever come down, and it's caught somehow by Baker in foul territory. Boy, that was up among the rings and the rigging and everything up there. A towering pop foul. Didn't touch anything, so it was still playable.
Well, the Twins of all teams should be used to catching the ball off of a white or light background on a roof, because they do it in Minnesota. But it doesn't make it any easier. Baker stays with it. I think Morneau lost it.
First out as Pena fouls out to Baker. Willie Ibar looks at a strike around the knees.
You know, getting back to Longoria's home run, I mean, that's what speed does in the bases. It creates more fastballs. I mean, you know, normally in that situation, Longoria's not going to see a cookie to hit. Instead of the double steal, as a catcher, you're calling more fastballs.
2 now to Ibar. Jesse Crain is the right-hander. He's joined Penn in the bullpen. Ibar is out on strikes. So Baker has recovered from that 3-run home run by Evan Longoria to retire Pena and Ibar. Now it's Vin Zobrist. Vin is 0 for 2 tonight. Pitch is wide. Baker at 95 pitches right now. That's a fair ball up the right side beyond the bullpen. Zobrist on his way to second. Kadire plays the carom. It's a stand-up double for Ben Zobrist. Right up the right field line, Ben's 13th double.
Boy, he can turn when he gets a fastball in. We've seen that many times this year. There's a fastball in, he just turns on it. He's ready for it, locked and loaded.
So the double by Zobrist will bring Ron Gardenhire, the Minnesota manager, out of the dugout as he goes to the mound to make this pitching change. That's it for Scott Baker. We'll be back with a new pitcher in a moment. And taking that one up the right field line.
Yeah, he got a fastball in and he turned on it. Now we're setting up in. The pitch was in and Ben was ready for it.
The left-hander Sean Henn will be the new pitcher. Gabe Kapler will pinch hit for the left-handed hitter Gabe Gross. Gross, by the way, is 3 for 7 with 2 doubles off lefties. Kapler will hit for him. The pitch is inside, 1-0.
Sean Henn in 4 games, 4.15 earned run average, only 4 1/3 innings so far.
Kapler misses. It's 1-1.
Yeah, I think you make the interesting point, because look at Gabe versus righties and lefties. 083 versus righties, 244 versus lefties, but no home runs and 5 RBIs. And yeah, we've seen Gabe Gross hang in there pretty good against lefties and go the other way, use the field. And it's only the 6th inning.
2 balls and a strike. Henn had been pitching at Rochester, their AAA affiliate. Got the call 10 days ago. Joined the Minnesota staff.
I spent a career in Rochester.
And there goes Zobrist. The pitch is a strike. The throw is a strike to third. Creedy put the tag on Zobrist, who's caught stealing for the 2nd time this year, and that retires the side. So the Rays score 3 as Zobrist is caught stealing to end the inning. The home run by Longoria, the big blow, and the Rays lead 4-1.
Waiting for the Rays Summer Concert Series presented by Hess Express. Well, the wait is over tomorrow. It kicks it off with 3 Doors Down, featuring their hit Kryptonite after the game. So you get the baseball game and a post-game concert tomorrow. For a complete schedule of all the Summer Concert Series presented by Hess Express, visit RaysBaseball.com, guys.
All right, thank you, Todd. We go to the 7th. Matt Tolbert leads off, and the first pitch from Shields is outside. Shields, after that first pitch in the 7th, had 85 pitches tonight. This one is low. 2-0. Tolbert, then Gomez and Span due up.
This is where you become an ace, too. 86 pitches, 59 strikes. He's throwing a great game tonight. You just got 3 runs on the board back on the home run by Longoria. Now you got to go 8-9-1 and get these guys out. No disrespect to the bottom of the order, but this is where you step up and be a number 1. Say, boys, I'll take it the rest of the way. Thanks for the 3-run lead.
Here's the 2-1. Ground ball right side. Zobrist is in front of it. Makes the play. 1 away. Shields has given up the run on 6 hits.
Yeah, let's take a look. I mean, he's had an excellent changeup tonight. He's had an excellent curveball tonight. By spotting his fastball both sides of the plate, that was a curveball there. He's got the whole arsenal tonight. He made one mistake, and that happens, and Kadire got him. But he's got too good of stuff. I mean, he's got the stuff tonight. He can get into the 9th inning.
Now Carlos Gomez, he's 0 for 2. He takes a big cut, fouls it, strike one. You know, this guy can bunt. He hasn't done a lot of it this year, but he had 30 bunt hits last year.
Well, he can fly. I mean, I know that Ron Gardenhire has talked about that's why he's not in the leadoff spot anymore. And Bernard's fan is. Last year they thought, well, at that speed, maybe we can teach him to work the count and not expand the zone. But he's been pretty much of a free swinger.
There's a strike. 1 and 2. Just a little piece of it foul.
Yeah, and this is where Shields 1 and 2 can make Gomez expand his zone. Try to get him to chase something, especially 1 and 2 here.
Ground ball, third base side for Evan Longoria. Throw to first, into the runner a little bit. Gomez is out, number 2. A couple ground balls, 1 to second and 1 to third. 2 up, 2 down. Now we go to the top of the batting order. Denard Span. He's 0 for 3. A couple of ground balls, and in between, fly ball to center field. Shields got him the last time on a ground ball to second, threw him a breaking ball to get him. Starts him with a pitch, a fastball up and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Popped up. Short center. Zobrist out making the call. He's got it. And it's a 1-2-3 inning here in the 7th. 7th inning stretch time. 4-1 Tampa Bay. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Welcome back to Tropicana Field. On to the bottom of the 7th inning we go with Kevin Kennedy and Todd Callis. Dwayne Stats with you. Great to have you looking in as well. The opening game of this homestand. Twins in for 2 more. Then the Kansas City Royals. It's Jesse Crain, the 3rd pitcher of the night. And his first pitch is down to Gabe Kapler. Kapler was the hitter Sean Hind faced when Zobrist was caught trying to steal for the 3rd out of the bottom of the 6th inning.
Jesse Crain in 13 1/3 has an ERA pushing 7.5.
Throws it by Kapler. He's got a good arm. He's had some problems, and they're trying to bring him around slowly to develop his command again. But boy, when he was healthy, this guy was very, very good.
Yeah, even that 91, that had some jump to it right there above Gabe's hands.
2-1.
Gabe's just got to really try to load and stay back, not jump at the ball.
3-1 as that one broke down and away. Kapler, Navarro, and then Brignac. Crain walks him. That's the first walk given up by Minnesota pitching. So there's a start for the Rays as they try to add to their lead.
Yeah, you wouldn't mind another run or two right here with Maurer, Morneau, and Kubel coming up in the 8th inning. A little more cushion here.
Now DeAndre Navarro, Creedy in at 3rd, looking for a possible bunt. The move to first. Kapler, I'll tell you, that was closer than you like.
Yeah, that was a pickoff right there. Gabe was able to scramble back. That's a pretty big flinch right there. Definitely. He didn't cross over like a steal, but he was getting off the bag, bouncing off the bag. He thought Crain was going to the plate.
Kapler has walked. And Navarro takes a fastball for a strike.
Creedy up, protected for a possible bunt again. Navarro's been swinging better, especially from the left side. He's got a hole on the right side. So let's see Joe Madden bunting right here with Brignac on deck in this situation.
The first, Kapler's back in. Crain had some shoulder inflammation earlier this year and actually spent some time on the disabled list. But when healthy, he has a very good arm. Now Navarro showing the bunt, taking the pitch low. 1-1. Tom Foley going through the signs.
Yeah, this is where you can put it on, take it off, maybe create a hit and run situation here. Maybe get another pitch in your favor here.
And time call. That is a no pitch.
And that's good managing. The Rays do that a lot, and people have to realize that they'll put it on, take it off. It's not an automatic bunt situation, but the point is what Joe Madden does, he makes the defense think, well, it's still a bunt situation. And now when you do that, you shorten up the defense, you create more holes in the infield. On the left side there, you see between Creedy at third base and the shortstop, and then the right side as well.
Navarro got the bat back. The appeal down to Mike DeMuro at third. He says he did get that bat back, and it's 2-1.
And now you've created a hit and run situation here.
Nabi takes a long look at Tom Foley, just in case.
Let's see if Nabi stabbed at it or not. Yeah, I thought he had a little stab at it. He might have got away with one right there.
And the first, and Kapler's back in.
And the reason each time there's a throw over, you go through signs again, because you might take the bunt off. You might go back to a hit and run. I love this because I used to do that as a manager. Each time a guy threw over, I wanted my third base coach to go through more signs, and maybe I took it off, maybe I put it back on. Tom Foley should go through it again. We'll see if he does now. He's getting a sign from Joe Madden, and he's going through a couple signs again. Probably still on. He only hit 3 spots there.
Two and one to count. Kapler with his lead. And Navarro swings away with Kapler on the move, and that pitch is fouled away, out of play. 2-2.
Yeah, Tom went to his belt, and I was just going to say maybe that's a takeoff. He went right hand to his chest, to his leg, to his belt. Maybe he took it off 2-1 and said, go ahead and put the hit and run on. That's what I'm saying. You don't know. He puts the bunt on, he takes it off, puts it on, takes it off.
They could have had the hit and run 2-1, and they just left it on.
Exactly.
Yep. Well, it's 2-2 now. Leadoff walk drawn by Gabe Kapler.
I would think Crane would try to throw a fastball away here with the thought of possibly Kapler running off the plate to give Joe Mauer something to throw on. Plus, it's a pitch that Navarro couldn't pull through the right side.
Down and in. Do him a slider.
Well, that wasn't a good pitch. So now you've got a run and hit count. So Kapler should be in motion. To me, for sure, because what's the difference? You got a 3-run lead. You might as well go for it. You worked this hard to get to this situation. Now do it.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Kapler at first with nobody out. Pitcher delivers a swing and a miss. Kapler on the move, and he's going to run into an out at second base. Harris took the throw from Mauer as Navarro swung and missed. So it's a strike him out, throw him out, double play.
Well, that's a pitch that Navarro has to stay on top of. See him dip down and try to pull that. He just got to put the ball in play there. Kapler had a pretty good slide, but that's a run and hit play. The hitter has to put the ball in play right there. That's not a steal. That's putting the runner in motion, and to make sure if it's a strike, the hitter's job is he has to put it in play. If it's a ball, you take it for ball 4.
Reed Brignac, pitch to him is down and in.
That's not the time to take a power swing, home run swing. He dipped down and tried to hit it off the wall. You don't do that. You've already created the hole in the infield. So Joe Madden, that was the right play to put on. It's just Nabi's got to shorten up and put it in play.
Ground ball right side. Talbert picks it. The throw to first in time, and it's a 1-2-3 inning in effect, despite the leadoff walk. So at the end of 7, it's 4-1 Rays. Time for the Stay in the Game hold of the day, brought to you by Just for Men Hair Color. The Rays hold leaders. Brian Schaus on the disabled list now with 6. Dan Wheeler has 6. Grant Balfour 4. J.P. Howell and Joe Nelson 3 apiece. Just as the middle relievers keep their teams in the game, you too can stay in the game with Just for Men Hair Color. We go to the 8th. Joe Mauer leads off for Minnesota. Shields out there on the hill, and the first pitch is a fastball away. 1 ball, no strikes. Mauer has singled and doubled in 3 trips. Shields got him on a ground ball to second in the 5th inning.
And now you're counting outs because Shields has got himself into the 8th inning here with great stuff. 3-run lead, 6 outs to go. So you're counting outs. You get some bullpen help behind you, but he's got the stuff to get deeper into this game. I mean, even get into the 9th, but he does have the heart of the order up right here with 3 lefties in a row.
Upstairs, it's 2-1. J.P. Howell up in the bullpen. They have Mauer, Morneau, and Jason Kubel due up. And a shot toward right center field. That's going to be in there and bound to the wall. Mauer's on his way to second. He'll turn second. He's going to dig for 3. And the throw is not in time. The Minnesota catcher, Joe Mauer, opens the 8th inning with a triple into right center field. His first 3-base hit of the year.
And he ran hard right out of the box. I mean, he wasn't just settled. That's a gapper. I'm going to get a stand-up double down 3. He said, hey, you know what? I can get 3 out of this. He's going hard right out of the box. It plays in front of him. And I watched him even on his double in the 3rd inning. He did the same thing. He wasn't settled for just a double. And he gets in there with a slide.
Well, Joe Madden comes out of the Rays dugout. This triple by Mauer brings up Justin Morneau, and that's going to be it for Shields. So the Rays are going to go to the bullpen as Shields gets a good hand from the crowd here tonight. 7 innings plus 1 hitter in the 8th. Back in just a moment. Pitching change. Hockey fans, they're looking for the return of Jason, but they also have goalie mask on. So hockey fans here in Tampa Bay, tomorrow on our sister network Sun Sports, you can catch live coverage of Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals as the Detroit Red Wings host the Pittsburgh Penguins. The puck drops tomorrow at 8 on Sun Sports. Well, J.P. Howell takes over. Justin Morneau, the first man to face him, with a runner at 3rd and nobody out. And the pitch is a strike call. 99 pitches for Shields as Howell takes over.
JP's been pretty consistent. 2.63 earned run average. I like the strikeout to walk ratio. 27 strikeouts, 8 walks. Batting average against opponents 218.
One ball, one strike.
You know, Joe Madden's thinking here is you've got lefty, Morneau, and Kubel 4th time around the lineup. If they face James Shields, and why not let J.P. Howell have some room to move here with a 3-run lead and a runner at third, nobody out.
There's a fly ball that's going to be in there down the left side, bounding to the corner. Mauer scores to make it 4-2 as Morneau doubles him home. And that completes the book on Shields. 7 innings plus 2 runs, 7 hits. As Morneau picks up his 45th run batted in on the double.
It's just a ball up. This is just a mistake pitch, and Morneau stays on top of it and still pops it up to left field, but he tried to get on top of it and shoot it exactly where the pitch was away. Now you got a 2-run game, and the only thing with taking James Shields out is that, you know, he had a nice flow going. Even though Mauer got the triple, he'd already had 2 hits, and you could say, well, so what? James Shields still has a 3-run lead. He's got the stuff to get Morneau and Kubel out.
Kubel with a bounding ball foul up the right side. Strike 1.
And sometimes the opposition says, you know, hey, thank you. But I know what Joe's thinking. He's saying, you know, Shields has gotten deep into the game. Another guy gets on. I want my reliever. I'm not going to let him go too deep. I want my reliever to have a chance to come in there and make a mistake. And he did. He did make a mistake on Morneau.
Pitch is a fastball strike. 0-2. Dan Wheeler is now up in the bullpen for the Rays here in the 8th. The 0-2 down. 1 ball, 2 strikes. By the way, they have changed that error charge to Creedy back to a base hit for Upton.
Could be. They had it right the first time. That's a good call. Ball had some top spin on that line drive.
That's ball 2, 2-2. And that'll be 7 hits and 4 earned runs charged to Scott Baker now.
And the key was Creedy was up looking bunt. That's the key. If he's back, it's different. But that ball, it was about 85 feet from him, and it was drilled.
2-2. The count on the DH. Kubel. Fly ball center field. BJ is there. He's going to make the catch. Morneau hangs on at second base. One away. Michael Kadire will be the hitter. He hit the home run in the 6th inning that got Minnesota on the board.
That's the only real mistake. I mean, Mauer got his hits, but that's the only real mistake that Shields made. That was a ball that he tried to cut away from Kadire, and it didn't do anything. It just stayed up middle in. He hit it out of the ballpark.
Kadire missed the off-speed pitch. The changeup, strike 1.
You know, with Mauer, it's tough to say mistake because he just hits everything. He hits good pitching, good pitches. He down and away, up and in, down and in. He hits everything. You got to give Mauer credit for the way he swings.
There's a strike. 0-2. Yeah, Mauer 3 for 4. He came into the game hitting .407. And a single, double, and a triple, opening the 8th with a triple, and he has scored. Morneau doubled him home with his 15th double of the year. He's at second now with 1 out. The 0-2. Ground ball to third, back to the bag. The throw's going to skip in, and it's past Pena. Pena lost his mitt, A runner's going to score. Kadire goes up to second, and Pena is hurt. Morneau crosses the plate, and Pena saw the mitt fly one way as he was reaching in trying to scoop the throw. Kadire winds up at second. That's going to be an error charged to Longoria.
It looked like Evan was going to make a great play. He reads the ball, comes in, charges it. Looks like he gathers himself, sets pretty well, and just skips it into the runner. And that's the problem right there. Pena was trying to pick the ball and avoid the runner at the same time, and the ball goes past him, and the glove gets kicked off by Morneau, or excuse me, by Kadire. And I think the main thing now, you hope Pena's thumb and wrist is okay.
Reaching in, and he had the mitt kicked off his hand. The Rays have had enough of the injury bug lately. Now with 9 men on the disabled list, and starting with that last game of the Marlins series, it was not very good. And Carlos will stay in the game, and that is good news.
Tell you what, that thing could swell up on him, though. As soon as this game's over, he's going to have to get that thing iced, get some treatment, I'm sure.
So now it's 4-3, and the Twins, with one out, have the potential tying run at second base. Joe Creedy is the hitter. Creedy 1 out of 3. He takes a pitch. That's a strike. Off speed. So the Rays commit the error. That turns out to be the first error of the game. The scoring change on the ball hit by Upton back in the 6th. Started in and did not come back enough to catch the strike zone. That's something that Howell sometimes will do with the fastball. 1-1 now. That's a strike.
There's one pitch Creedy was looking for, and it wasn't that. He's spitting on everything off speed. He was looking for number 1. You got to recognize that as a catcher too when you're calling the game. Not try to sneak one by him.
1 ball, 2 strikes. And down and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Immediately following our coverage of this one, we have Rays Live, the post game coming up. Be sure and stay with us for that. Two and 2 the count. Only 1 out of the inning. Joe Creedy, the hitter. And he fouls it. So we'll see another 2-2 pitch. Creedy 1 of 4 lifetime against J.P. Howell. And he got him. Creedy's out on strikes. So J.P. Howell gets out number 2. Well, that was a dandy pitch.
Yeah, it was pretty apparent in that sequence that Creedy was looking for one fastball there he was hoping to get. He never got it. JP went off speed right here, and Navarro backhands it. 2 strikes, but gets the big strikeout right there.
Two gone. Brendan Harris will bat. 1-run ball game in the top of the 8th. It's Kadire, the runner at second. Harris doubled in the second inning. 1 for 3, all of that against James Shields. There's that fastball that started in and came back and caught the corner.
Sure did. You know, at 85 looks like about 92, 93 because he has such good off-speed stuff with the curve and the changeup.
One headed up the right field line. That's going to be a foul ball. Just foul, and boy, that had trouble written all over it as Harris went the other way with the pitch. Instead, it's a strike.
Yeah, he's a dangerous guy in this situation because he can drop that ball into right center. Situational hit right here, and this is a breaking ball that stayed up, and he just tries to go with it and does. The ball just tails off foul by just about a foot outside the line down the right field line.
Oh, 2 the count.
That's where Nobby really has to block the ball here. You don't even need to throw him a strike.
Pitch made. Pretty close. Threw the fastball right there. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, that's a good pitch. I think Harris was looking off speed again, trying to go the other way, and he kind of made sure with the way he turned in that Del Scott knew it was way in.
The 1-2 from JP. He took a shot in there again. It stayed in, and the count is 2-2. Boy, that's a great pitch when JP can get it to come back.
Yeah, it is, and two good shots in a row, and I like that because that one almost got a little bit inside. Nobby tried to bring it back. So that's good sequence. Remember, you got a base open there too. If you're worried about Harris, you got Tolbert on deck. You don't have to throw him a strike. You got to make sure he hits your pitch. You got to paint it right here, 2-2.
Dyer with a lead, the 2-2, and it's down as he lays off. Changed up on him, and the count is full. Two now. 2 outs, a man at second. Rays lead by a run. The 3-2. Harris taps it foul. Went with the off speed again. So we'll do it again. Twins have scored 2 here in the 8th. One of the runs, an unearned run, but it's a big one. JP with a second 3-2 pitch. He got it! He struck him out! Howell stayed with the off-speed pitch, had him out in front. That retires the side. 2-run score, a couple hits in air, and a man left. 4-3 Rays, middle of the 8th. Depot doing more on defense, and for that, we'll go back to the third inning when Evan Longoria hit this shot to center. Carlos Gomez made a great catch and managed to survive the impact out there on the warning track. He can go get the ball.
Yeah, he can do that. I tell you what, J.P. Howe, we just shot him on the bench. He's got big guts.
Yes, he does.
I thought he pitched a great sequence there. He did not give in to Brendan Harris. He recognized what Brendan was trying to do, and he made him hit his pitch. And then he recognized he had a base open, and he said, "I'm not going to hang this breaking ball. I'm going to bounce it." And Harris chased it.
B.J. Upton to lead off the bottom of the 8th. Takes a strike. Upton, Crawford, and Longoria due up. It's high. 1-1. Crane worked the 7th inning. Gave up a walk and picked up a strikeout. Minnesota pulled a strike him out, throw him out, double play. Tapped to third, foul ball, and it's 1-2.
Now Owens BJ's got to shorten up and put it in play. Doesn't need an extra base hit, just a nice short compact swing, use the field up the middle, fight off some tough pitches.
One into short right field, and it's out of the reach of Tolbert. Upton reaching out, just looped it out of the reach of Tolbert, and now the Rays have some speed at first base to lead it off.
Well, that's what we're talking about. Putting it in play, make some contact. You never know what can happen, and he does. He fights this out. Look at him bend down to get that breaking ball and just slap it into right field over Tolbert's head. I mean, that's much better than taking a big swing on strike 3 or looking at one. That doesn't have to be pretty to get the job done. I know Felipe Alou used to say that when I was coaching with him in Montreal. You don't have to have your best swing to get the job done.
Here's Carl Crawford. Carl looks at a strike around the knees.
Well, that was interesting. Maurer was taking that back to the mound like it was a ball. He was going to talk to Crane, maybe give some time for the bullpen. And in the meantime, as Maurer's up and going out to talk to Crane, Del Scott decides to call it a strike. That ball's tailing action. Maurer brings it up, so Maurer thinks it's a ball. Watch. Scott calls it. Del Scott calls it a strike. Maurer brought it up, which tells you he thought it was low. They got a little break there. I don't think I've ever seen a catcher come out of his crouch and go to the mound before the strike's actually called.
It's Jose Mijares throwing in the bullpen down the left side. Going to first, and BJ's back in. Rays have lost a couple of base runners tonight. Zobrist at third and Kapler at second. BJ 15 of 18 running.
Carl Crawford's making his way in the All-Star team for me.
Carl with a home run and a single tonight. He scored a couple runs. But you know, he's been perfect in the steal department. Carl 30 of 30.
322. Really good at bats all season long. Playing a really solid left field.
Takes a pitch away. 1-1.
He's had good pitch recognition. He's averaging about 4 pitches at least per at bat.
Two balls and a strike. Hit his second home run of the year back in the third tonight. First one was up in New York on Mariano Rivera. That's when he and Longoria went back to back off Mariano. Ground ball right side. Tolbert turns, goes to second out there. There's no throw to first. as Upton is forced. It's a 4-6 put out there at second base. Crawford is aboard with one out, and there brings up Evan Longoria.
Evan got a fastball. They tried to go away. It was right down the middle. 2-0 count. He drills it over the center field wall for a 3-run home run in the 6th. And he got a fastball because there were 2 men on. There were B.J. Upton was at second. Carl Crawford was at first. Concerned with the double steal.
Evan Longoria takes the pitch down. Ball to no strikes. Evan with a single and a home run. There's a strike call. 1-1. Mentioned before, Crane had some shoulder issues. A very good fastball and an excellent slider. Working his way back. Crawford back in easily.
Yeah, on that throw over, Carl wasn't going. I think he'd like to see the count get a little deeper, give Evan a chance to hit another one before he takes off. He'll run at some point. Crane's worried about him, and that might give Longoria a mistake at home plate to hit it.
A foul back takes the count to 1-2. Longoria's homer in the 6th made it 4-1. Minnesota scored 2 in the top of the 8th, 1 unearned, making it 4-3. Now Crawford's at first with 1 out in the bottom of the inning. And Longoria is behind Crane. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And again, a move to first. Carl back in, standing up.
I was talking to Evan the other day about what Carl Crawford has done for him. You get more pitches to hit. He said definitely. You know, no ifs, ands, or buts. But he does get more pitches to hit, and with Pena behind him too. Give credit to both guys.
1-2. It's up.
But, you know, it's one thing about getting pitches to hit. It's another thing about executing. So Longoria gets the credit. I mean, because he executes when he gets his pitch to hit. 54 RBIs leading Major League Baseball. That was a curveball. Evan wasn't so sure it wasn't going to be called. He had a little balancing act there. Now he's got a protect mode, and it's a good running count for Crawford, too.
2-2 now. Pitch is in a bit. He came in with a fastball with a little something extra on it. So Crane takes the count to 3-2 on Evan.
Well, I think Evan was thinking he might get a breaking ball again, and I think it's the right thinking. And so Maurer calls a fastball in instead. Maurer's thinking like a hitter. It's a tough thing. You got a great hitting catcher behind the plate. He says, well, I know what I'd be thinking here, so I'm going to call the opposite. Now Crawford should be in motion. 3-2, 1 out.
Pitch, there he goes, and it's swung on and fouled back. We'll do it again. He went 3-2 slider that time, I think.
You know, the old axiom used to be that catchers would call, bad hitting catchers would call what they can't hit in certain counts.
Yeah.
What do you do when you got a 400 hitting catcher back there? What does he call? Joe Mauer, he studies the feet of Evan Longoria. You get a feel for what he might be looking for. Knows that Crawford's going to be running, but they got to concentrate on Evan.
And a throw to first. Crawford just got back. Morneau thought they had him. Jerry Meals on the call. He was going, of course. And he just got that hand to the very back of the bag.
Boy, that's pretty darn close. There's a sign. The split fingers right there. The index finger and the little finger on one. That's the throwover sign. That's what that is. And that one is foul back.
Crawford staying put that time.
It's a smart throw over because it looked almost like Carl was out on a couple of those replays.
He must have somehow got that hand back to the bag, to that back corner under the tag. But boy, I'll tell you, that was close.
It was, and it cost him right there not to run on that pitch. He may run now, but again, it's more of a run and hit, even though you got a base tuner there. You want Carl to steal it. Still more about Evan either taking the ball forward or making contact.
3-2. This one back off the pitcher. Crane scrambles after it, but has no play. That one right back at Crane, and it appeared to hit him up around the hip. That's a base hit for Longoria. They'll come out to take a look at Jesse Crane.
I could hit him on the right leg up in the tail section. Let's see. Maybe the calf or thigh, I mean, hamstring area.
So that's going to be it for Crane. He departs and call to the bullpen. Back in a moment. Sun Sports and Fox Sports Florida's Facebook page for frequent updates, exclusive sneak peeks, and behind-the-scene views. Find us on Facebook by searching Sun Sports /Fox Sports Florida. Carlos Pena is going to be the hitter with men at first and second and one out. Jose Mijares, the new pitcher for Minnesota, their fourth of the game. First pitch is low to Pena. Mijares recalled from Rochester in the third week of April.
Got a power arm, tough on lefties with a hard slider to go with that 93 to 95 plus fastball. 15 strikeouts in 15 and a third innings.
Pitch is down, scooped out of the dirt by Mauer. 2-0. Longoria at first, Crawford at second.
And Mauer just played that one like a hockey goalie right there. Just kind of scooped it up, shifted to his left and picked it.
Rays now with 4 runs, 9 hits. Twins have 3 runs, 8 hits. The 2-0. Blown away. 3 balls, no strikes.
Carlos will be zeroing in on one pitch, one location right here.
Mauer goes to the mound.
Mauer's letting him know that right here. No cookies right here. You got to make a pitch here, Carlos Pena. Otherwise, it's a 3-run homer. That's good veteran leadership too, because a lot of guys, young guys, they know it, but they don't really focus in on it. Mauer's just reminding them, hey, 3-0 is a good hitter's count for a guy like Pena. Might be the best fastball he gets to hit.
Check back at second, and Crawford is diving back in just in case. Pena previously with a couple of at-bats against Mijares, 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Up 3-0 in the count now. And Mijares throws a strike.
And he did make a pitch, 3-0. That's exactly what Joe Mauer told Mijares. You got to make a pitch in the outside corner here, and he did. Excellent location. He's got to do it again, too.
Pena 0 for 3 tonight, up 3-1 in the count. And that's strike 2. Trying to hold up. Check swing, 3-1, takes it to 3-2.
Mauer just gave a sign. He's going to throw to second base on a steal. He let the infield know. He went down his chest protector with his right hand straight down. That means I'm throwing to second base. So they'll let Crawford steal third. Should he run?
Now the 3-2 and a ground ball, 1 hop to first. Renaud to second out there. No throw back to first. So it'll be a first and third. Pena hit the sharp 1 hopper, and Renaud made the pickup on it. So it's a fielder's choice to get Longoria at second.
Well, that's a big play, not getting a double play. Mijares didn't cover first base, and the ball hit to the right side. Carlos drills it and hits it hard enough where he would have been doubled up. Morneau can't get there, and then Mijares goes, uh-oh, I better get over there. It's way too late. So that gives Ibar a chance to drive a run in here. That's a big play in a 1-run game, especially if Ibar can come through.
Turn around to bat right-handed against Mijares. Fastball is up. 1-0. Couple of hits, but so far no runs in the 8th. Oh, that's a strike on the outside corner, says Dale Scott.
Not a pitch Ibar or anybody can do much with anyway. It looked like it went around the outside corner. Not a good pitch to swing at.
The 1-1 inside. 2 balls and a strike. Ibar has gone out to center with a fly ball. He popped to third, struck out his last time. All of that was against the starter Scott Baker. The 2-1. Ball 3 is low. 3 balls and a strike. Ibar hitting .275 this time in with 3 homers and 12 runs batted in, and ahead in the count. That's a fair ball by the bag up the left field line. Crawford scores. Pena's going to go to third. Into second goes Ibar. The Rays tack on another run. Big hit by Ibar. A double into the left field corner, making it 5-3.
Huge hit right there. Ibar was indeed able to capitalize on the mental mistake by Mijares not covering first in the double play ball that would have got the Twins out of the inning. Instead, an RBI double and a chance for more right here to get a couple more of those runs back.
So the Rays score their 5th run of the night. A 2-run ball game, and here's Ben Zobrist with 2 men in scoring position. Pitch is too low. 1 ball, no strikes. Matt Guerrero up in the bullpen for Minnesota. Wheeler has been up in the bullpen down the right field line for the Rays, and now they're going to walk Zobrist intentionally.
Well, I got to tell you, this is the right move. I was surprised they threw 1 pitch anyway to Ben. With what he's done with men in scoring position, as many home runs as he's hit, big RBI situations.
So the intentional walk served up here to Zobrist to load the bases, with Gabe Kapler due up. So the lefty Mijares loads the bases, and Gardenhire will want the right-hander in the bullpen. So he'll come out to make the pitching change. Matt Guerrero will be the new pitcher, and we'll be back in a moment. Sun Sports and Fox Sports Florida. Our camera crews will be in the stands searching for the most creative sign that shows your support for the Rays. Grab your markers and poster board and get to work. The kid with the best sign will be seen on live TV during our telecast. All part of Kids Sunday on Sun Sports and Fox Sports Florida. Matt Guerrero, the new pitcher. Bases are loaded with Gabe Kapler about to step in.
23 games already for Matt Guerrero, just about every other day for him, like most relievers.
Kapler takes the first pitch down and away. Rays have pushed across 1 run in the inning. That charge to Crane.
I'd like to get that other one back that gave up in the top of the 8th inning.
Pitch is low for ball 2. Baker, Hen, Crane, Mijares, and now Guerrero. Matt Guerrero, the right-hander. Kapler entered the game as a pinch hitter in the 6th. Hits it on the ground, back a third, foul. 2 balls and a strike.
You know, Ron Gardenhire, there was a look on his face there, the shot we showed a moment ago, and it was really of disgust. And you know what he's talking about is mental mistakes.
Yep.
Not covering first base on a double play ball to the right side is opened up a potential big inning for the Rays. At least they got one run back because of that, and that's why they sent down Alexi Casilla for mental mistakes. Cutoffs and relays. I know he made a couple mistakes there.
2-1 and a little tap foul straight back. It's 2-2. Kepler chasing the slider.
Gage just got to zone in when he's got a 2-1 count on something that he wants. He's chased the pitcher's pitch there.
Bases are loaded. And a line drive to Creedy at third to retire the side. Rays are out. They score a run, leave them loaded. We go to the ninth. It's 5-3 Tampa Bay. For the Rays, he follows Shields and Howell.
Dan's been in 20 games, getting that ERA down now below 5. 16 2/3 innings. It's going to be kind of a safe situation by committee, depending on matchups. That's what Joe Madden has said to his bullpen guys. Everybody be ready down there. Kind of makes it tough for Rolls, but it is what it is right now.
And Matt Tolbert, the switch hitting infielder, leads it off, hitting left-handed here to start the ninth. And the first pitch is a strike on the inside part of the plate. Howell threw 24 pitches in the 1 inning he worked, taking over after Shields gave up the triple to Maurer to open the 8th.
Walking a sacrifice. Still shouldn't be a sacrifice. He was trying to bunt for a hit there in the second inning. The runner at second base to make it 2 outs and a runner at third. And the Rays say thank you very much.
2 strikes the count. Wheeler last worked on Sunday in the Florida series over in Miami. Goes upstairs with a fastball. It's now 1-2. Brian Busher has moved into the on-deck circle. Another left-handed bat. The 1-2 swing, a little foul back. It's out of play, and the count is still a ball, 2 strikes.
Good pitch right there on the hands. That tied Tolbert up.
Top of the ninth inning, a 2-run game. Way high that time. 2-2. Rays have Nelson, the right-hander, and Choate, the lefty, also loosening in the bullpen up the right field side.
All hands on deck. Try to get the final 3 outs.
It's now 2-2. And a swing and a miss. Tolbert out on strikes. He went after the high fastball.
This one had some jump on it right there, and Tolbert couldn't lay off. Right up under his hand, above his hands there.
Now Gomez will be lifted. Brian Busher will pinch hit for him. See his numbers on the year. And the first pitch is a strike.
This little back door looked like a slider right there. Neil Scott's been calling that one, so why not?
Yep.
He's been calling that backdoor breaking ball on lefties.
Did he go? He did not, says DeMuro on the appeal to the third base umpire.
Why not double up on it? Yeah, he just did hold up.
1 out. Busher pinch hitting in the ninth. A little bit in with that one. 2 balls and a strike. Busher spent some time with the Twins last year. He was at AAA Rochester and Minnesota. Between the two, hit .305 with 12 homers. A 2-1 count right here. Ball 3. Fastball in. Talbert struck out, and Wheeler is behind Busher. And he walked him. So Busher draws the walk. That's going to get the top of the order up, and one of the things that concerns you is behind Span is Joe Mauer.
You bet. And Joe Mauer's got a single, double, and triple. 3 for 4 tonight. And this becomes a huge out right here to try to get Denard Span.
Span popped out his last time. And he takes the pitch. That's a strike.
Sanders looking to get on base any way he can. Work the count, drop a bunt down, whatever he can, because you want to get Mauer up there in Molino with a couple of guys on if you're the Twins.
Span with great speed. And he hits a popper into short left. Crawford comes in for it, and he's got it. 2 gone.
Huge right there.
2 outs with a runner at first, and Joe Mauer is going to be the hitter. Well, it's never easy. Now Madden comes out. He wants the left-hander to face Mauer. And so Wheeler departs 2/3 of an inning, and we'll be back in a moment. Night, 3 out of 4.
Yeah, you got a ground ball single in the first inning. Got a nice crisp double to right center in the third inning. And in the eighth inning, this triple. And he was going for it right out of the box. He was looking for it. And he's up there as the tying run right now.
Randy Choate's the new pitcher for the Rays. Here's the rationale behind that. Not a big volume of at-bats, but Mauer 2 for 2 against Wheeler, 0 for 1 against Choate. And the pitch is a strike call, and Mauer right now hitting .421 on the year, .241 against left-handed pitching.
Absolutely, big time discrepancy right there, and Randy Choate has that deceptive release point as well. It makes it tough on lefties to pick him up.
And a foul ball back into the screen. It's 0-2. So Choate has come in and thrown 2 quick strikes here. Mauer fouled that one away. Top of the ninth, 5-3 ball game. Rays leading Minnesota. And just reposition Upton a little bit to the left center side of center field.
Yeah, the outfield's pretty much bunched too. The corners are bunched to the gaps.
Way wide. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Busher the runner at first with 2 outs. Mauer the main man of attention right now for the Rays.
We just saw Crawford and Kapler bunched that take the gaps away. They'll give him the lines, the left field line, the right field line. Bill Mauer's hit the right center field gap twice already tonight.
The 1-2. He got him. He struck him out, and the Rays are winners. Choate strikes out Mauer, and the Rays take the first game of this series. It's a 5-3 final as the Rays break their 5-game losing streak. Put up a win here over the Minnesota Twins. Here's the final pitch.
Tough slider right here, fading away. Beautiful pitch by Choate. Gets Mauer to wave at it.
James Shields will get the win. That'll even his record at 4-4. The loss goes to Baker. He's 2-6. And a save for Choate, who got the final out by striking.